Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse. Well, it started with this. It's the lock-ins, a watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand. I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it. Hilda wants to see her daughter. I'm going to have to use my talent. I can change my skin. What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them.
Let's see what the assistant has to say. Hi Jaya, what would you like to know? Something about Ben who wasn't happy. Tell me about Ben.
So, should I get a solicitor or shall we try and talk it out with him?
Get a solicitor.
I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all, don't worry about it.
Of course you will.
That's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it.
Right. Who had a session on Valentine's Day? I'm going to need to write this down.
On Valentine's Day, Dr Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Oh, did he now? Did he now? I'm trying to join things up in my head. So, what have we just found out? Claire had a session, this girl here. She had a session at 11. Elin had a session at 3. Jaya and Mariana both don't have shoes. Mariana has the tentacle looking necklace. Jaya is suspicious. Jaya said that there's only 2 people in the office. Maybe she wanted the job. She is a suspicious character, and those 2 are the only ones that don't wear shoes. Read between the lines there.
Hey you, thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him.
Right, let's talk about Dekker then.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
Let's hear it then.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Right, let's talk about Bryce.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Sure. What about Claire?
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Not really, she's a very busy woman. What about Elin?
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
Because she's an angel of death, perhaps? Finally, what do you think about Nathan?
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
What hobby?
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
Yes. He flew. Did he fly? So obviously Dr. Dekker is now culpable. Because, you know.
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Well, Dr. Dekker is very irresponsible as a psychiatrist, and I know this. I've done my training. I studied for 6 years for this job. I'm just saying, you don't go tell people to go jump off a freaking building that they can fly.
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same.
Why did he resign? What do you mean he resigned?
Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. No, it's sad.
Why?
But doctors come and go, and only poor Jaya remains.
Jaya?
I got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well,
convenient.
Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that.
Alderby? The guy that was talking about the Cthulhu? He's... okay, there's something suspicious going on here.
Professor Alderby is a trustee.
He's a trustee?
Did I not mention that?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
We'd worked late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
You can't find order in the chaos. Do you remember Alderby? What patterns was Dr. Dekker trying to spot?
Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
So these patients were all handpicked. What's the common experience that they have? Is it the Cthulhu cult? Oh, hello! Ha! Hello! Let's go. We're really getting deep into this now.
Yes. Letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters... He was sure there was a pattern in them.
I need to see these referral letters. There we are, guys. Who or what is Cthulhu? We have to ask it.
So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you.
Answer my question.
Answer me!
What can you tell me about his patients?
Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them.
No, but they seem to know each other. He didn't introduce them, but they seem to know each other. What happened to Dr. Dekker's glass in the Alderby video?
It smashed.
To the point. It's great, thanks. So who else do we have? We've got Bryce or Claire? Should we go for Claire because she was the one that had the appointment that day? Should we try Claire? Oh, hello Claire, how are you doing today?
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today.
Dear.
I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
What were you doing on Valentine's Day?
The day Dr. Dekker was killed. I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock.
Correct.
That was the last time I saw him.
That's correct. Yep, Claire was at 11 and Aileen was at 3.
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse.
What was it?
Taking it to the grave with me, though,
No, come on.
as the tea.
Let's look at that again.
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though, as the tea.
Anyone else think that's a little bit suspicious? Okay.
I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10.
A girl?
She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick.
Okay. What? I mean, I don't know why that's relevant, but it's fine. Did you speak to the
I don't
girl?
know why I talked to her. She looked sad.
Oh.
I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
Not really, because you don't know who she is and we're as her parents. No, don't talk with the girl.
I know. I shouldn't have talked to her.
No.
It was dangerous.
A wee bit. For her, not for you. Just saying.
David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house.
So David is a hunter. Okay.
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
Why, where was the spare? Did David have it? What skins did the girl see? Was it Dr. Dekker's? Important question.
Animal skins. David hunts then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so
Just not a fan.
the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them.
Ugh.
I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
I mean, not supposed to do that. Supposed to be professional. How did your parents die?
They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces.
Okay. She strikes me as the type that would go to an art gallery. You get it? Like Jasmine. What were you doing on Valentine's night?
Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do.
A little bit of resentment there, isn't there? There's definitely a little bit of resentment. She really doesn't like having to look after David, but at the end of the day, she caused it.
He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse.
Probably because you stabbed him.
I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
Okay, at least she does have an alibi.
I had to toughen up quickly.
Okay, so you're very emotionally stunted. Got you.
I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water.
Let me just replay that again for you guys. Holy, we found it. We know the answer. We know it. We know the answer.
I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creature that she's seen in the water.
What strange creature?
I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.